Welcome back, and I'm incredibly excited to have arguably two of Australia's hottest commodities at the moment. I've got Matt Ford and Jack Steele from the Inspired Unemployed.
Hello.
Fellas, how
How
are
are
we?
we? We're good.
Very good.
Well.
Very good. Just hanging out in the hills of Byron Bay, trying to get away, hide
Trying to
away.
find ourselves.
Yeah.
Digging deep.
Like the rest of the population. Boys, I find your story quite cool. Obviously, you've got an incredible story for the past kind of 2 years of what you've been doing, but I also think it's quite unique that you both had a different path outside of school. So, Matt, I might jump to you first. Can you tell me what was high school like for you, and what did you do when you transition out?
Yeah. So school was fun, but I never really liked it. I never really wanted to be there. I always wanted, I don't know, I couldn't really concentrate that well in class. It's pretty distracting. I used to distract a lot of kids, I think. But yeah, I mean, I had a lot of good friends, so it was fun. But yeah, I never really wanted to be there. So when I was halfway through year 11, I was about to start my, what was it? It was landscaping apprenticeship. I'd been working for a couple of weeks, did some work experience, and I was just about to sign with him. But then I went over and did a holiday to Bali with some mates, and a friend offered me a job there to work for an online surf shop. So I went in. I ended up quitting that. I was like, no, I don't want to. I never really wanted to be a tradesman because my dad was a bricklayer, and I seen how hard it was on his back. So I nearly got sucked into it because I wanted to leave school, but then pushed that away and got this worked for online surf shop.
Wait, tell him you did 1 day work experience with your dad.
No, but yeah.
You lasted 6 hours on the tools.
Yeah. When I was in year 10, I did work experience for my dad for 1 day doing bricky labouring. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. But then when I was halfway through year 11, I wanted to leave school. So I decided doing landscaping just because like there was no other way to leave school really, unless you did an apprenticeship. So I was about to do that. And then I found this guy who wanted someone to help him do his online surf shop. So I did that for a couple of years, and then it wasn't really going anywhere. And I was kind of getting to this like quarter life crisis stage in my life where I was 24, 25, and I started doing, well, I just lost myself.
You're 24. Wow.
Far
Good
out.
education we have.
Jesus Christ. I'm lost.
Yeah, what? You're 24,
Am
25?
I rolling on too much here? Or is it,
No, keep going, man.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
So yeah, I was doing this surf shop job, and then it wasn't really going anywhere. So I fell into carpentry because I was like, oh, better start getting my stuff, like my life together. Cause I'm 23, 24 now, and was doing that. And I didn't want to start an apprenticeship. Everyone's like, do an apprenticeship. I was like, no, I just want to learn how to do it. I don't want to be really locked into it because I still knew it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. And then Jack called me up and he was like, let's go to Europe and let's try and start a business or some sort. Let's do something. Let's work towards something we want to do for the rest of our lives. And I was like, nah, the dream's over. I've already tried that 4 or 5 times now. I'm going to be serious and I'm going to start this apprenticeship. And then he ended up talking me into it. So I quit the apprenticeship, went traveling with him with the intentions to try and start a business or something that we wanted to do for the rest of our lives. So we started making videos, not thinking that it would eventuate into this, but we thought, we liked doing it, and we thought it could be, if we started this Instagram page, it could be a resume to, maybe get extra work or get into this kind of industry that we didn't really know much about. And then, so that's pretty much my whole life summed up right there.
And what about you, Jack? Did you do an apprenticeship yourself as well?
Yeah. So I had the, the usual jobs when you're 14, 15 or whatever. I actually my first job was at Macca's. Worked there for about, was it?
Yeah.
So good.
Every kid's.
Yeah. I lasted about 11 months and then I think they told me to leave because I used to go out the back and punch holes in the boxes. Just for
get anger issues.
Yeah. And then, so I left school. So at the end of year 10, I wasn't the best kid at all. I wasn't like, I was just a hell smart ass. And but then at the end of year 10, I did heaps of work experience and I was like, fuck that, pardon my French. I was like, no, stuff that. I don't want to, be a tradesman. My dad was as well. My dad is. So I, went back to year 11. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go hard at school. I'm going to try really hard. And school was just not for me. Like I got like ADD. I could not concentrate. My life depended on it. Used to get kicked out of most classes. But anyway, went back and then kind of got told to leave by the principal after about a month in. And then, I started my apprenticeship as a plasterer, and, that was from 16 to 19. I finished that. And then when I finished, I just went traveling straight away. All I wanted to do was travel, because all my cousins traveled and my, older friends and stuff. And my older mates, they were about 21 when I was 19. So I was like their apprentice on the first trip. We went to South America for about 8 months. And then I went up to Canada. But as soon as I started traveling, I feel like I just went from a kid to a half adult, just grew up so much quicker and so much better life. You just learn so much about life and just people and respect and just everything. And and then after that, I would just come home and work for 2 months and go traveling for another 8 months, then come home for another 2 months, kind of like that until the last trip to Europe in 2019, where me and Matt started the Inspired Unemployed.
It's funny. Yeah. My business partner and I, Stubbs, very similar. We were both working in trades. We were doing like steel fixing and being brickies laborers and concrete pouring, just kind of like working out what we were going to do before kind of going into the web and trying to work out, like starting a platform, having no idea. How did you guys start, if you don't mind me asking? Like, what was the kind of the idea initially?
Yeah, so about in 2016, I think it was, we went traveling over to New Zealand, Queenstown, and lived there for 6 months. And when we were over there, we started making skits. It was like a group of us in a house, and we all didn't have jobs for about 3 months. So we started making skits because we had so much free time on our hands. So that's where the skits started. But then we all got jobs, and the page just kind of stopped, all the skit making. And then, but we knew we really liked it. So every now and again, we'd make ones here and there, but nothing like all the time. And then we're going to do this trip in 2019, about 3 years later. And we're like, we should make skits again. That was fun.
And we wanted to get hard at it. We knew we wanted to go. We're like, okay, when we go over to Europe, that definitely wasn't a business plan at all, because we were just so green. Dressing up as a girl or just doing stupid shit on video obviously doesn't sound like a business plan. And we had no idea you could make any sort of money online in that sense on Instagram. We went over there with the intentions of doing that just for fun, going hard at making videos. But we wanted to start like a business that would generate money, because we thought that wouldn't. So we're thinking about making a friggin' acai like superfood smoothie bar in Byron Bay, or
like one of those vans that you drive around and like sell food out of or whatever. Like, we're just thinking of anything,
like starting an app for a tradesman, like I don't know, just anything. But we knew we didn't even enjoy that stuff. We're just looking for anything. And then I guess we just went so hard at making videos and just loved it. And then it became it just took over, and it felt like a little kid of ours that we just couldn't leave alone. We felt like we owed it. Actually, the goal was to get home with 10,000 followers. That was the goal. So we didn't look like idiots, because we're shaming ourselves so hard. So
we thought if we had like 10,000, we'd be like kind of legit, So like people would take us a little bit serious. Yeah. All our mates back home and friends.
Everyone just thought we just full cooked ourselves. We're just overseas.
Yeah.
Just overseas, just doing the wackiest.
Mum and dad calling us up every week. So you guys all right?
Yeah. You sure you're right?
Yeah.
Been on the hard stuff, have you?
Time to go home now.
And so it like, obviously it's been like a quick, scale up, rise, whatever you call it. How is your process now? So, you guys have, everywhere. I see you got like over 1 million followers now. You obviously, so there's kind of two questions in this. Like, how do you guys kind of create now? I guess it's a really interesting part of what you guys do, because it is so kind of, tongue in cheek, but it's so engaging. And then the next one is like, what was that growth like?
The growth is pretty crazy, because we finally, like, we worked for so long. We did like, I think it was like 6 or 7, 8 months that we're putting out so many videos, like constantly.
Every day, pretty much.
Yeah, for about 6, 7 months. And it was just slowly climbing. And then it got to about 10K. And like, yay, we got 10K. And then all of a sudden, within like 3 weeks, we're on like 35, 50,000 followers. Like, it just went poof. As soon as we got to that mark, it just went crazy. Yeah. And then it just kind of didn't really stop. It just kept.
It hasn't stopped since then.
Yeah, it just kind of kept rolling. And it was a bit of a wig out.
massive we get. Like,
yeah.
oh man, we used to look at people with 20,000 followers and just say, our goal was like 20,000 followers in 2 years. And I think in 2 years we got to 900,000 or 1 million maybe. Yeah, easy, probably 1 million. Yeah, it's only been going for 2 years, so it's just nuts. And I guess it was, I don't know, so many factors. Like because the 6 months when we were getting like 10 followers a day, you know, and we're putting in so much work. Like every day we're scripting, filming, editing while we're on a holiday for 6 months longer, and just getting barely anywhere. I guess that just put us in a good habit of working hard, because we knew we just didn't want to fucking go home empty-handed, and we didn't like I personally didn't like my trade. I didn't like it that much that I wanted so bad to just make this work, and I think the same for Matt. So yeah, I guess once it paid off, you know, we had this big backlog of videos for people to look through and show that we worked hard, and then we're just in a good habit, and we found a formula, and then it just started rolling so well. The point where we kind of blew up was the point where we were so close to giving up, you hear it's so cliche, you hear that all the time when you're closest to giving up when you're closest to success, but that is fucking so true. I can't express how much that's true.
Yeah, it's true, because he went home from Europe a little bit earlier than me, so we split up for a little while, and we weren't really making that many videos apart, and we're kind of like, oh, we're putting in all this work, we're not really getting much out of it. Like, is there any point in this? We're just making ourselves look like idiots to everyone around us. And then I got home and we made like 2 or 3 videos and then just took off. We're like, yeah, we'll give it a couple more cracks. Like we're never going to give up on it, but yeah, we did a couple of videos and then that's when it took off.
And I feel like once it took off, we really were not going to let it just go down again, because we were just like, we're grabbing onto this thing and taking it for a ride.
Yeah.
And what's that growth like? Like, obviously you've got no idea of kind of digital or video or like content, such a new thing. And then all of a sudden you just, you know, you shoot off to the stars. What was, obviously that would be, it's a great process, but it's also difficult to kind of comprehend it all. What was that like? And how did you guys manage it?
We're still managing it. We still pinch ourselves. Like, what's going on? We still don't even know what's going on. It's just so hard to process.
You're having good people around you, a good support system, like good team and good mates, and just trying to stay as humble as possible. Like, we're lucky it happened at a later stage of life, because we could stay grounded. Whereas I feel like if that happened at 18, our egos would just be like,
yeah.
I think it's just having a good friends and family, and just really trying to always stay humble and just level-headed. And I don't know.
I feel like everyone's really nice to us, and I don't know. It's just like
just take the piss out of yourself.
Yeah, and
makes it easier.
And everyone, I feel like, I don't know. I was thinking going to go on there.
Jack, you mentioned something just before, and I guess it's probably a good question for everyone who's listening or watching to understand. So you guys have got a team behind you. Obviously, you kind of see you two as the figures, but how many people are kind of behind the scenes working with you guys?
So it's well, I'd say it's me, Matt, as the you know, mostly everything. But at the start, it was definitely me, Matt. And then, you know, when we got a bit bigger, say 10, 20,000 followers, the brands and stuff started hitting us up, and a manager approached us. We had a lot of managers approach us actually, but so now we got a manager, started just as that. And then now my sister actually is like our PA, if you want to call it, like working for our manager. And then our mate Forrest, which used to be his old boss, is now working for us as our filmer for just for YouTube. He does all our YouTube content. So all our Instagram, we still film everything, edit everything, and script everything, which takes up a shitload of time. But then we just got a filmer, manager, my sister, and just all our mates that are in the videos and stuff at times. They're great. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I didn't realize that's so cool. And so you guys are still writing your scripts, you're choreographing everything, you're still doing all the vision of all your videos.
Everything.
Yeah, we do everything. We write, film,
write the script
edit.
Right before we get on this.
Yeah, it all. We pretty much do everything. Still.
Yeah, because I feel like you can't have someone script our videos or edit them, because I mean it'd be amazing if they could, but I feel like the content would just be, the humor just wouldn't be there. It'd just be.
Yeah,
it would lose touch of what we're all about. We're trying to be all about. But yeah, I don't know. It's so time consuming, especially editing and stuff. I feel like a lot of the humor is also in the editing. So we do it all ourselves. Yeah. So.
Yeah, even we just hired our filmer, but he just does YouTube. We
Yeah.
still do our social media, like the 1 minute skit edits.
Yeah.
We still do film and edit all that, but he focuses on YouTube and the longer format stuff.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's a good question. You know, obviously, Matt, you were kind of going to and fro with doing different kind of trades and different work. Jack, you were a plasterer. How did you guys learn those skills in terms of editing and scripting, choreographing? Like, how did you learn all that?
Just do and learn. Hey, so
Just
pretty much
be shit before you get good.
we pretty much just learn on the go. Just taught ourselves really. We
were so bad.
So bad. I used to edit everything on my phone.
Yeah.
And then and we was just horrible at the start, and we just liked it so much though that we just wanted to get better and just tried to learn how to get
instead of taking a course of getting quick good. Wait, what? Getting quick good. Getting good quick. We just, as you can see, I didn't finish school.
Yeah.
We just learn over 2 years, you know, and we still suck, but we're getting a lot better, which is good. But people could do what we can do now in like a second, which would take us hours, you know. But we've got a lot better. I think it's just skills we built because we enjoyed it so much.
I think it's one of the things that, so often you kind of miss. Like when you do something that you're actually passionate about, you want to learn to, you know, improve your work, and then you have to wear so many different hats when you do things. But when you actually enjoy the work, you don't mind extending yourself like that. From kind of having absolutely no idea and just growing it from 10 followers to 100 to 1,000. It really builds its own momentum, and it allows you to grow. And I think it's a tough thing for so many people to really take that leap into something that you're passionate about and that you're interested in.
For sure.
Exactly.
And I think it's so, like, never ever, for anyone listening or watching, never doubt, like, because we doubted us so much. Like at the start of this, we thought that's why we're looking for all these other businesses ideas, because we were like, there's no way we could make this a career. We were like, what do we love that we could make a career? And this is right in front of us the whole time, but we never ever even looked at it because we just thought, nah, can't. Didn't believe in ourselves that much, you know, and you just doubt yourself because you can't, how you visualize this looks impossible kind of thing. Yeah. But then when it worked out, we're like, holy shit, it wasn't as hard as and it just worked because we loved it. And whatever you do, if you work harder, obviously it's going to work, whether it takes 2 months or 2 years. I feel like it will work if you just put in enough work and get good and be realistic at the same time. So
it's interesting you say that. We caught up with a guy called Will Hodgett, who's the ex-creative director at GoPro. Similar story. He didn't know what he was doing finishing school. He always loved filming surf, and actually did a lot of filming down South Coast around your area. And he met a guy randomly that was like, oh, dude, I'm trying to do something similar. Like, why don't we just start working with each other? And he then ended up going to the States, and Hodgett just kept kind of perfecting his art. And he was like, oh, I know no one really believes in it, but I've got a vision as to what I want to do. And kind of, one random chance led to him then going to GoPro like 6-7 years ago. And then, creative director now. But it says the same thing, that it's just like, when you're passionate about something, like the work becomes your passion. When the work becomes your passion, you put more time into it, and you put more time into it, you end up like you guys and Hodgett, where your work just becomes in demand.
Yeah. And I feel like it's worth the leap 100 times over, because far out, it will work. And then when it does, you could just be suffering in a job you half like for the rest of your life, or you gave, at least if it doesn't work, you gave it a crack.
You gave it a crack, and you never die with that feeling of you never went for it.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And you go down swinging.
I think that's why
and you got so long.
Yeah, because me and Jack, we had the very similar life kind of, I don't know how you put it, like
trajectory.
Yeah, and we just both believed we wanted, we both thought we could do more and wanted more. So that's why we kind of believed in ourselves just to go for something and just, like you said, never quit kind of thing. Like, you just got to keep pushing. If you don't give up,
and you think it'll
happen.
Yeah. And you think you're getting, so you're like, oh no, I'm getting to 24. I need to get my life sorted. That, I feel like you can, the only way to find out what it is just keep experimenting and just shifting all the bad ones out. And, until you're 30 plus, you feel like you can you don't have to make money before you're 25. You know, you got so much time. You can make money quick, and not even money, just find your passion, but just be patient.
But we did think like that. We were like, oh, we're like nearly 25.
We were stressing out.
Yeah, we're like, it's nearly over. We got to act now.
Yeah, we got to hurry up because you compare yourself. Comparison is the worst thing in the world. Like, you just compare yourself to your mate that owns a house and pretends he's happy, but he's probably covered in freaking oil all day long, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
No, I honestly, I'm so compelled that you guys have that same kind of outlook on it, because it was the exact same and for so many people that we've interviewed and met that took that chance that, to start a business or to go in an industry they had no idea about and just kind of learn about it. And the same thing, you think it kind of, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, that you're meant to know what you're going to do and who you're going to be. And Jackie nailed it. Like, you compare yourself to like everyone else. And when you actually do take that chance, like how much more fulfilling your life is and how much more dynamic you are as a person is just too undeniable.
It's crazy. Hey, it's worth it's nuts. It's nuts.
I've got a couple of minutes left, but I guess a question I wanted to ask you both is that if you were to go back and look at yourself, Matt, I might start with you, and you'd meet 18-year-old Matt Ford again, what would be your advice to that little Grom?
Yeah, I'd just say
party less.
Yeah, no. I just say like I used to just stress about my future so much. I was really insecure about, like, to my friends' families, like all my friends were going like uni and doing these apprenticeships, and I was just this guy that worked at a surf shop. But I knew I didn't want to go to uni. I knew I didn't want to be an apprentice. But I'd be so insecure to just be like, oh, I'm working at a surf shop. But I'd just be like, don't worry about your future. It's going to happen, like, when it's meant to happen. So I knew I was going to go for something when it felt right, but I just didn't know what it was. And I knew I didn't want to be locked into a 4-year, like, uni degree or apprenticeship. So I was just cruising, but I was like a bit insecure about what I was doing. So yeah, just not stress about your future.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I feel very similar. I used to compare. Everyone compares. It's so unhealthy. But I used to compare a lot. But for me personally, my biggest word of advice would just be to go traveling and learn and just do what makes you happy. For me, that made me so happy. So I just did that, and then I just chased like whatever I loved at the time. I just chased that, and through that I found this, and now I'm just living every day. I'm so happy because of that. But I feel like I never always wanted to be more than just the average man. But if being the average man makes you happy, then that's great. But I think just do what makes you happy and go traveling. And
traveling, it definitely opens you up so much. I feel like
it does.
I feel like everyone should go traveling and just throw themselves in the deep end for a bit.
Yeah. The best thing about traveling is that it puts you outside your comfort zones, and you're kind of outside your kind of community and your network. So you've got to extend yourself to meet new people, and you're in a new culture where you're vulnerable. And it's one of our big things. We advocate traveling and gap years and just throwing yourself into a new experience.
Yeah.
Boys, if you don't mind, so there's a couple of questions coming through that I'd love to obviously get your answers to. One of the first one, and it's actually a really interesting one, is did you guys do drama or any performing arts at school?
We didn't.
Nothing at
No.
all. We get that question a lot. And I was opposite. I was so petrified of I couldn't even do speeches in high school because I was so scared.
Yeah, seriously.
Literally shut myself.
I don't know why people ask that either. I feel like our acting skills are so horrible. But yeah, no, I didn't do any of that. No. We probably should do that.
I wish we did.
Yeah, same.
Might start.
Have you both always been able to dance?
Yeah,
not really.
No, not really. Maybe from when we started going to music festivals.
He's a pretty good dancer. He taught me, but
no,
Mr. Elastic hits over.
Yeah, we just learned from going to festivals and having a bit of fun, running a bit of a muck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, no, that's good answer. And festivals, obviously, festivals and career advice. I love it.
Yeah.
And how do you? Obviously, you guys have to spend a heap of time together, and you've got to manage that difference between business and friendship and personal, and both managing visions. How do you guys keep a healthy relationship?
I don't know. We
Just getting a punch up every day.
we literally spend like every second of every day together. And somehow it just works. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it comes back to like you filter it through traveling. Honestly, we filtered out like the friends that just don't make the cut and you can't live with, and then we're fine. And I feel like since the first trip and now, and it's our business, so I guess we have no choice. Our friendship's like our business, so it needs to work. Otherwise, if it doesn't work, we're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
So it's just fine, and we're always around friends and stuff. I don't know.
Somehow make it work.
We're literally together every day for the last 2 years, pretty much. I reckon we've had 4 days apart in 2 years.
Do you guys? Another question is, what's your favorite skit? Actually, I'll double load it. What's your favorite skit, and what's your most viewed skit or video?
Most viewed video is the Fleetwood Mac dancing one.
Yeah, the hip thrusting one.
The road cyclist one's probably up there as well. There's a few that are up the top, but yeah.
Yeah,
everyone loves it. Everyone hates a road cyclist, so that made it up to the top, I think.
Yeah.
That was outstanding.
What's your favorite?
Favorite one? I kind of like making the Nickelback one.
Yeah,
the Nickelback video. I've always wanted to be like a rock star. That was like my dream when I was kind of young, just to be like a rock star. And I finally had the chance to, be a lead singer of a fake band. So I just took it with open arms and went for it. So I enjoyed doing that one.
I like the Bindi one where we're walking down a hill. It's from a fair while ago, and we just get done by Bindis, and it's just like kind of like this cinematic masterpiece. It's pretty good.
Pretty much any video of all our mates, but they're always fun.
Yeah.
I guess the question, you guys said that you didn't have a plan, but you had a plan. You didn't have vision, but you got vision. What's the vision for the future?
Good question.
Still working that one out.
Yeah. Back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
No, well, we got, we're always thinking long term. Since the start of this, we was always thinking long term about especially brand deals and blah blah blah. So at the moment, in the works, we've a TV show is the long term goal. But we got hopefully a beer company coming out at the end of this year, podcasts, and just like expand and grow and just keep hopefully doing good things and staying grounded at the same time.
No, but boys, I love it. I think, yeah. Again, Matt, Jack, I can't thank you guys enough for doing this. I know your time is valuable. So thanks for attending Year 13's Expo.
No worries. Thanks for having us.
See you later.